What's going on, guys? This is Rich here for another episode of Remote Control Versus. And as you see, this episode is a little different from how I did it the previous time. This one isn't with live commentary. This is just me talking over matches, and you'll see me kind of switch between these two formats going further. There'll be some episodes where I do the gameplay live, and there'll be some where I just talk about the matches or just different things, just to kind of mix things up. And the reason why I did this format as well is because I had a lot of people who wanted different games to be featured in this one, and so I figured I could just do more matches with different games and then just talk over them. So right now you see it's Tekken. And one of the main reasons why I really started playing Tekken lately is because Tekken Tag 2 comes out next week. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I'm a humongous Tekken fan. It's actually my favorite fighting game out of everything, or a franchise. And when I heard the announcement of Tekken Tag 2, I immediately got hyped because I knew that, you know, it had been a while since Tekken, a new Tekken that came out. The last Tekken that came out was Tekken 6, and that was like 2008, early 2008. And so, you know, I've been itching for some new Tekken content, and now I'm very pleased that we almost have it. And from what I've been seeing from the trailers and everything, this game looks like it's going to be amazing. They're taking some great steps. It's jam-packed with the characters. You know, you have all these different features. You have the online play, which is looking fantastic. So it's really getting me hyped, and so I felt that I needed to kind of go play some Tekken and kind of go in the lab and try to get my game back, because I used to be very good at Tekken. Maybe not the best as far as the juggles. I mean, I knew some juggles, but not like really, you know, complicated stuff like you see like from, of course, the pros. But I still was pretty good at it. But once, you know, Street Fighter 4 came out, and then of course Marvel and, you know, all these other different games, I just kind of stopped playing Tekken, mainly because a lot of my friends started playing it, and then the online at first was really crappy, but now they've gotten a lot better with their online play. And so, you know, I'm looking forward to Tekken Tag 2, and I will have, of course, a Remote Control Versus episode of that, as well as some ranked matches, the review, all that good stuff. So you guys have a lot of good stuff looking forward to if you're a Tekken fan. Now, as far as the characters I play, Tekken, you know, I used to play a lot of different characters. Now I play as Miguel and Lei Wulong. And mainly I started playing as Lei because I just didn't see a lot of people who played as him. You know, one thing when it comes to these types of games is if there's a character that a lot of people play as, I tend to kind of not be interested in that character, because, you know, I get tired of seeing like the same tactics and the same things on every match. So I try to play as different characters. And Lei Wulong is someone who looks very, you know, he's complicated because he has all these different fighting styles, but he's very fun to play with, and a lot of people are unfamiliar with those type of fighting styles. And so if you can just get, you know, the combos down and how to go into each stance, you know, you do a lot of work. And then as far as Miguel, I just like Miguel. One day I was playing online, and I was like, you know, I saw this guy play as Miguel, and he like completely just slaughtered me. He murdered me, and I was like, Jesus Christ. So I went into the training mode with Miguel, and I went to like the settings, and I went to his command list and kind of, you know, looked at some of his basic moves and like his basic combos, and then I actually started really liking the character. And so I just started, you know, investing time into him, and then of course, you know, I started going online and just testing my skills out. And that was right like about around the time where I started trying to play Tekken more, because I had heard that Tekken Tag 2 was coming out. But, you know, a lot of people were playing Marvel and Street Fighter and all those different games at that point. So, you know, the community of people who were actually playing Tekken wasn't that robust, and it got kind of hard to find matches sometimes and to find stable ones. So I just kind of, you know, stopped playing and started playing playing other fighting games. But, you know, now that Tekken 2 is almost, or Tekken Tag 2 is almost here, and Tekken Tag Tournament 2 was like the first PlayStation 2 game I ever bought. You know, I'm very, very hyped for it. There's actually a review out for Tekken Tag 2 already, and from Famitsu, and they gave it 39 out of 40. So that's basically 2 10s and a 9. Oh, sorry, 3 10s and a 9. So it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it, and as soon as we get our hands on it, you can be sure there's going to be a lot of matches and gameplay for you guys. So stay tuned for that. Now, what we got here next up is Street Fighter X Tekken, and you're probably wondering, why am I even including this? Because so many people hate this game. And it's because it's a game that I don't actually hate at all. I really like the game. I think it's a great fighting game. I just think the way that Capcom marketed and some of their strategies of how they, you know, went about when, as far as the mechanics, as far as the gems and you know, all these like easy combo shortcuts that you can get, and it's just a lot of weird decisions that I didn't agree on, and it made it to where, you know, the game was so catered to newbies that, you know, people who actually put time into it, of course you'd win, you know, if you're really good, but still, you know, it's like, I don't know, it just felt like it was just catering too much. But now that they've come out with these patches to kind of fix some of the problems, like the infinites and some of the cheap stuff like Rolento at the beginning and all that, I feel that it's becoming a lot more balanced and a lot more fun. You know, the team I play as is Paul and Heihachi, and the main reason why I play as Paul is because no one really plays as him. So again, that's a character that I'm going to just be attracted to. Not only that, but in Tekken, I played as Paul. He's one of my favorite characters in the game. So, you know, Street Fighter Tekken, it's a great game. I really like it, and I wish people would really give it more of a chance, especially now with, you know, they've added 12 new characters, and they've supported it consistently, and the netcode has gotten a lot better, because at first the netcode had that weird audio glitch that was just kind of just really retarded, but you know, it's gotten a lot better, and I actually have a lot more fun with this sometimes than I do with Marvel, because with Marvel, you know, with all the little cheap stuff that, you know, the same teams and the cheap stuff that people do, I mean, it can be really frustrating sometimes. And I'm not saying this isn't either, because you see a lot of Ryus, Kens, Zangiefs, Kazuyas, you know, you see the same stuff here as well. But I don't know, I just really like the game. You know, I wanted it to do well. I love the crossover idea. Their execution could have been, of course, a little better, but overall it's a solid game, and I know the hype isn't really there for this game anymore, and hopefully, you know, as time goes on, we can see it kind of come back up a little bit. But again, you know, of course I understand why people don't like the game, but for me, it's a great game, and you will be seeing this game included in the GDN, so habit, remote control videos in the future. So, you know, be aware of that. And last but not least, we have some Persona, and Persona is actually right now standing my favorite fighting game of the year. I love this game, and I haven't really put as much time as I planned on putting in it, just because I haven't had the opportunity. With, of course, the ideas we have for this YouTube channel and the website and everything, we've been, you know, in the lab trying to figure out how to, you know, bring some new content to you guys weekly, to have this YouTube channel grow fast and have you guys, you know, wanting to be a part of this. And because of that, a lot of games that I planned on playing, I haven't really played. This includes Persona 4. Now, my initial reactions to this game is that I loved it. I have a review out for it. If you haven't seen it, go to the channel, check it out. Or you're here, so just go to my videos and check it out, or our videos. But the thing I like about this game is that it's a game that you could tell they really put a lot of work into these characters to make them feel distinct, because there aren't a lot of characters in the game. There's like 12 characters in the game, which compared to other games like Marvel and Tekken and, you know, Street Fighter and all those other games, that might seem a little small. But in my opinion, the smaller the character roster, the more time you have to flesh them out. And that's one of the things that I really like about this game, is that the characters all feel unique. You can pick a character that kind of is, you know, suited for your type of play style. You know, for me, that character, as you see, he just fits what I like, you know, and he's a rushdown character. He's in your face, you know, he has ways to get you to him if you're trying to play the keep away game, and he's just a fun character. Now, Persona isn't a series that I really follow, the Shin Megami Persona series, so I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, I know all the characters and all that stuff, because I'll be lying if I did. But, you know, it's a game that I was interested in when I saw it, and ever since then I've had a blast with it. And the problems that they had with the game, which was the online play when it first came out, was already immediately patched. So that just shows how much, you know, support that they want to give this game, and how much, you know, how well they want it to do. Because, you know, believe it or not everyone can make it to an arcade. Not everyone can make it, you know, to a tournament. So the fact that, you know, they put this much work into the online play to make it be a smooth experience, was something that I really respected. So, you know, I got to give them a thumbs up for that. But as of now, people are still playing online. I can find matches. You know, when it goes to streams like the Team Spooky stream and Level Up streams, people are still playing the game, which is good to see. I don't know how long people will play the game because, you know, there's so many different fighting games that are out and so many that are coming out that, you know, it's sometimes certain games that kind of get lost. Like, for instance, like Skullgirls, people were playing that at first, and then, you know, not saying people no one plays anymore, but as you see, it's not really streamed or anything anymore. So I'm hoping Persona isn't one of those things, just because it's a great game, and it's actually one of the fighting games that I feel that it has a very good balance of, you know, accessibility, but then depth. So, you know, for someone who just kind of wants to jump in and just mash buttons, you can do that in this game. But for someone who wants to actually really, you know, learn the game and really learn the mechanics, you can do that as well, and you will see a big difference between those playstyles. And then, of course, you know, there isn't like any combat feature to this. You know, it's just straight up fighting. You have your specials, but there's no like super, you know, ultra finish that takes away like half of your life or anything like that. So it might not be the flashiest when it comes to those type of things, but the mechanics are fantastic, and I just love the game. Now, I'm going to be doing more of these as well, remote control versus, including Persona. But, you know, again, I'm not the best at it. I don't claim to be the best at it. So if you see me lose and things like that, you know, just bear with it. But looks like that's coming to a close of this episode of Remote Control Versus. Thank you guys for watching. Leave feedback on what you thought about the episode. The next one will be next week, and most likely that'll be all Tekken Tag Tournament 2. So for anyone who's really hyped for that game, the footage will be here, and you guys should enjoy it. So, Rich from Remote Control, signing off.